Shalom. Before I begin this video, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Ruach HaKodesh, which are the true names of the Heavenly Father and His Son, and which are the true name of the Heavenly Father, which His name is Yahweh, and also likewise His Son, which His name is also in ancient Hebrew, which His name is also Yahweh Shai. All right, giving all praise to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. And of course, always double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that continue to rule very well to this very day, that is continually taught the men that you see today that are also prophesying, continuing the legacy of teaching and prophesying as our Lord Yahweh Shai commanded. And also as well, much due honors to the Hope elect that's also following the same footsteps, that's also teaching this truth in all faith, truth, sincerity, and also in all charity. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a lengthy video. It's going to go into the beginnings. And I'm not going to say humble beginnings because, in this particular video, I'm going to touch up on, the origins of what is being called today as Thanksgiving, which is tomorrow. Okay, and of course, with the popular consensus is that Thanksgiving was set up, or Thanksgiving is a time to where everybody comes together and just eat copious amounts of food, and as they say, they give thanks for what they have, this and that and the other. But really, when you go into the beginnings, like I said, I'm not calling it humble beginnings, but when you go into the beginnings, and really it's a bloody beginning, right? When you go into the bloody beginnings of this so-called holiday, you see that really this particular time was a time of robbery, a time of murder, a time, basically rape, rob, and murder of the so-called Native American Indians, in which they are also a part of the nation of Israel. The tribes, the tribe that they belong to are the Gadites, all right, the tribe of Gad, okay, and also Reuben as well, which are the Seminole so-called Indians, and also as well the Taino Indians, which are part of the other northern tribes, specifically, also a part of that is Ephraim. But, mainly this is going to Gad, all right, because, it was prophesied in the scriptures what was going to happen to the tribe of Gad concerning this land in which they possessed at one point, in which, even that same notion, you see that this land, the land that we're standing on today, this land is riddled with bloodshed, okay? And, this land does not belong to Esau Edom, which Esau or Edom, in which Esau is the progenitor of the Edomites, right, in which his name was changed to Edom, and that's the true biblical nationality of the so-called white man. In this time today, he's being called a white person, all right, or they're called white people, okay. But like I said, this particular history, a point in history, is riddled with bloodshed, man, like I said earlier, okay? And, it goes to show you how much these people really don't know what's really going on, man. All it takes is a little bit of research to, look into things like this. But, these people, especially among them, our people, the majority of our people, they choose not to look into things like this or to consider, because they lack that ability to, of consideration. I'll use that term. Okay, basically examination. Looking into things, man. Basically having an analytical mind. Okay. That's why our people are considered as sheep, because sheep are made to be led. And that's why even the higher ups of Edom call these people sheep. They have a term in Yiddish, which is goyim, okay, which means kettle. Okay, why? Because these people are being led in whatever direction that these higher ups of Edom want them to go. These so-called elites. Okay, which are the bankers, the banking family, starting with the Rothschilds. Okay, but not to ramble on too much longer, I want to go ahead and go into this article I have here. Like I said, I'm gonna try not to make this too long because this is a bit of a lengthy article here. But if you want to, you can look it up. I mean, it's the information is all there. If you do a search or do any sort of research, the basically the facts are there, because this is indeed a fact. All right, a fact in history. All right, and it's rare recorded what was going on during that time. All right, so here it is. It says, here's the true and bloody story behind the origin of Thanksgiving. All right, it says the dark history of Thanksgiving is surrounded by tales of blood, brutality, and slaughter. Okay, so I'm going to skip around this article a little bit. I'm going to start at the second paragraph, actually. It says the origins of Thanksgiving, like with most other traditional festivities, are rooted in old pagan rites, all right, which, the majority you see today, especially Halloween, New Year's, Christmas, they all have origins behind them, all right? But yet the people blindly, get into these things without knowing, what the reasoning behind why these things are promoted in the society. And guess what? America, which is Babylon the Great, which America is indeed recorded within the Bible, all right, in which in the Bible is deemed as Babylon the Great. This place promotes and perpetuates, this same vibration, this vibration of these old rites, these old festivities that took place, which was heathenistic, because really this place Babylon is a culmination of every single so-called holiday or pagan rite that you see, that you read about in history. Okay, now it says the holiday has its earliest source in ancient customs found throughout the globe that allocated a day of giving thanks for a successful harvest and the fortunes or blessings of the previous year. Right, but in this case, it says more specifically, however, it's often said that the current American tradition of Thanksgiving dates back to the establishment of the Plymouth colony in what today is Massachusetts. All right, and that was back in the 1620s. Okay. Let's see. It says most schools teach that Thanksgiving was born with some English religious dissenters. The Pilgrims were struggling to settle in Plymouth. They were warmly received by friendly local so-called natives or Native American Indians from the Wampanoag tribe, who taught them how to survive in the New World. Right. So, and this was during a time when you had these explorers. You had Cristobal Colon, which these people know as Christopher Columbus. All right, they came to the Americas, and basically they were getting torn up on their voyage there, and even when they arrived there. All right, but our people, being a compassionate people, all right, which is a blessing and a curse in itself. They our people, which are the Gadites, took them in and nursed them, nursed them back to health, and taught them certain things, how to survive, things of that nature. And but the end of all that, right? If you read about it in history, you'll see that the reward that they got for doing that they got for nursing them back to health and teaching them certain things. All right, their reward was the sword. All right, they were being slaughtered. All right, and that's why those tensions were so huge during that time, and also those same tensions are still rooted today. All right, as I'm speaking. Okay. It says to celebrate their success and to honor each other, everyone got together and threw an affectionate feast in which the pilgrims showed their gratitude. Like I said, now it says that sounds like a lovely story, but it falls way short of showing the whole picture. Okay. Now I'm gonna go down just a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna skip down just a little bit. It says other settlers in Virginia celebrated their arrival with an annual Thanksgiving Day since 1619, for example. Decades before, some Spanish settlers in the colonies got together yearly with the Seloy tribe for a friendly feast, yet others believe in Thanksgiving truly began in 1637 when Massachusetts colony governor John Winthrop, and he's a straight up demon when you read about him, declared a day to give thanks for the fact that more than 700 lives of members of the Pequot tribe, including women and children in Connecticut, were lost by the hands of colonial soldiers. All right, and that's what that's only a portion of what was going on during that time. All right, and also just giving you a glimpse of the what was going on during that time, and also showing you what they were doing. All right, and the reason why they were giving thanks for basically what they got control of, or what they gained possession of. Okay. Now it says here in this next portion, it says it is fairly well documented that the English and later Americans didn't get along with their native neighbors. Actually, that's an understatement. It says so-called Native American Indians were driven out of their land. Case in point, the Trail of Tears, right? Hunted and virtually exterminated by the settlers during the centuries following the latter's arrival. So it's hardly surprising that the story surrounding Thanksgiving involves a bloody conflict. Okay. Now, just a little bit. I know it goes deeper into it, but yeah, I believe that's it on this article. All right. So it says, I'm going to read a little bit here. Well, it says to say, so-called Native American Indians suffered greatly with the arrival of ambitious conquerors is putting it mildly. Their homes were obliterated. Their way of life was destroyed, and their community was massacred. It says there are no merits to this colonial genocide other than a tale of warning against the greed of technological superior civilization immigrating into exploitable land, where vulnerable communities have little chance against such foreign power. All right, and that brings to mind when it was during the time, I forgot what part in time it was, but I believe it was during the time of when you had, I'm not sure if it was General Custer, or I believe it was General Custer. I might be remembering wrong, but either General Custer or one of the generals. I can't recall at the moment, Salakia. But if any of the brothers have that information, go ahead and post in the comments. But that was the introduction of the Gatling gun. All right. So, Esau came to this land with the sword, all right? And Esau, in which we all know, and to those of you who are new, who might not know, his blessing is the sword, okay? And since his blessing is the sword, that's what he came with. He came with the sword to this land, all right? And committed genocide, nearly committed genocide, all right? Because you still have... the Gadites are still here, all right, in parts of America, okay? So they're still alive, all right? But, this man, him and his bloodlust, he was committing genocide against the northern tribes, all right? The Gadites, the Reubenites, the Ephraimites, even Issachar, all right? That was during the time of the Spanish when they arrived here, okay? But yeah, and the rest of this article, is going into basically, of course, they got their own spin on this, but But like I said, this is just one of the articles out of many that's circling around that you can pull up, and it says the same thing. The reason why Esau Edom is even in this land in the first place is because they robbed it. All right, they robbed it and they slaughtered the so-called Native American Indians. All right, and these people that are here today, these Edomites, have some nerve to say to tell either so-called Native American Indians or even Issacharites, or Ephraimites, or any of the northern tribes to leave this land, when basically this man is an illegal immigrant. All right, and you want to talk about illegal immigration, then this is it. Okay. They because they continually remove borders, they continually remove people from their lands, and this man has a history of doing that. Actually, if I may, I want to go ahead and grab that, right? Let's see if I can find it. It speaks about removing the landmark. Yeah, so here it is. It actually is real within the scriptures not to do that. But this man, like I said, in his bloodlust, has done this. Okay. It says here. It says Proverbs chapter 23. Yep. It says Proverbs chapter 23 verse 10. It says, "Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless." Okay. So, and that's also part of the law, not to remove the old landmark. But what has this man done? He has done nothing but remove landmarks. He called lands after his own names. All right. Case in point, that's why his land is even named America in the first place, because it's named after an Edomite. All right. Amerigo Vespucci. All right. And even for you Jakes that into these into Pan-Africanism and things of that nature. Well, even the term Africa came from an Edomite. That's a Edomite name. Okay. Why? Because this man has removed old landmarks. All right. Called lands after his own names. Okay. And displace the people that are in their lands, man. But such is the way as a devil. All right. So I'm gonna go on from there. I'm gonna grab the book of Numbers, chapter 35, and let's see, Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. It says, "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defile the land." And that's why this land, America, is defiled. Okay, it's defiled because innumerable amounts of blood has been shed here on this land. Okay, we are literally standing on top of bodies. Okay. That's how much slaughtering this man has done to the northern tribes of our nation. All right, the nation of Israel. All right. Reading on, it says, "And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood of him of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." Okay, so there's no way that this land is going to ever be cleansed unless the blood of him that shed that same blood, unless his blood is shed. Okay. That's the only way this land is going to be cleansed. Is these same individuals that have committed these acts of murder. All right. Guess what? Their blood has to be shed as well. And guess what? Our Lord Yahushua, who these people here call Jesus, is going to be the one to do that. All right. Because vengeance is in his heart. All right. And very soon he's gonna meet this man. All right. With the sword. Okay. The same blessing that he gave him. Okay. The same blessing that was given to Esau Edom, guess what? That sword is going to be turned on him, all right? Because he's going to end up falling on his own sword at the end of everything, okay? So again, like the scriptures say, the blood cannot be cleansed unless the blood is shed of him, all right? That shed that same blood, all right? Now we'll move on from there. I'm gonna get the book of Ezekiel chapter 35, and Yep, Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5, it says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. All right. So this man has shed the blood of the children of Israel, and you see that, man. Not only the northern tribes of the nation of Israel, like the Gadites and the Reubenites, he also shed the blood of the southern tribes. All right, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, which are you so-called Negroes, so-called Haitians, and so-called Jamaicans or West Indians. Okay, this man has put his hands on the whole nation of Israel. All right, and guess what? This man is also going to pay that same price, or he's going to pay the full price for doing that. All right. Verse 6, it says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power. Okay. And the Lord power is alive and well. All right. It says, I will pursue, I will prepare thee unto blood. All right. And blood shall pursue thee. See if thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee, right? So no matter what this man try to run to, the same blood that he shed is going to come running behind him, all right? And rightfully so, okay? Because this man does not shy away from blood, man, all right? And you see that every single day, okay? That's why, Esau can't wait to catch a Jake out of line just so he can put a bullet in him, man. All right, that's how much hatred he has for our people, and it tells you here he has a perpetual hatred towards the sons of the Most High, the sons of Israel. All right, but there's one more precept I want to grab, and I'll close it out. All right, here it is. This is the book of Revelation chapter 17, and this is at verse 6. All right, and this is going to Babylon the Great. All right, as you read at verse 5. But I'm going to start at verse 6. All right, it says, and I saw the woman, which is Babylon the Great, right, that harlot. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. All right, so this same woman has been made drunk with the blood of the saints. Okay. And when you're made drunk off of any type of wine, basically you have to drink in excess in order to get yourself to that state. So this land has been overindulging in the murder of our own people. All right, in the murder of our nation. So-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. Because it says here, she's been made drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. Those are the men, all right, that you see that are teaching today. All right, the prophets of the Lord. Okay. Because guess what? This man's also going to try to get his hands on us. All right. Because really, he already knows that the majority of our people are already finished. All right. Really, his main target that he's concerned with, and the reason why they have these certain secret meetings, all right, behind closed doors, is because of us. That's what they're really talking about in these meetings, man, because we are a huge hindrance to their agenda, all right? Because we are warning our people about what's about to happen, what he's about to do, all right? So, yep, and I believe that's it on this precept, but that's pretty much it on this video, on this lesson. But like I said, man, the information is all there, man. The history, the bloody history of Thanksgiving, even this land being erected, this man being in power, all right? It all goes back to the so-called white man. Everything's go back to Esau, Edom, all right? Just how we always going to, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and off on that note. Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Till next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone everywhere to this day. And also, Shalom, peace and safety. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Let's continuing to labor in this work and also do labor to show for your diligence to make your call and election sure, in faith, in truth and sincerity, and also in charity. And with that, goes to Shalom.